Hey, so after having spent a week playing around with Insignia's post on hybrids, I am a little bit more confused about what constitutes a hybrid, and I've been playing around with this idea enough that I think I've got an answer that works for me, but the question is whether it'll work for the community. So, let's review. Hybrids, when they first came onto the scene, they were this: isolation versus extension in various combinations, right? And then we discovered cat eyes, and we discovered there were other things we could do with our hybrids. Including that bastard-ass awful one. We also played around with the idea of what if, you do them on a larger scale? What if you add pendulums to them? Etc. All the stuff that I just did, extension versus isolation, extension versus cat eye, or excuse me, isolation versus cat eye, extension versus triquetra, triquetra versus pendulum, all seem to be pretty widely agreed to be hybrids in the grand scheme of things. The problem is with the definition, which, as it currently stands, is any combination of two driving styles put together. Now, when it comes to driving styles, people seem to be comfortable with the idea of isolations and extensions being different driving styles, even though all you've really done is shifted the focus of the ellipse that the hand and the poi are creating from midway down the poi length to an imaginary spot center in the hand, and yet we wouldn't consider this full arm extension be different from the unit circle extension, would we? And yet we have changed the focus point. So if changing the focus point doesn't constitute a difference in driving style, what does? Well, what about anti-spin? This is a one beat, or a one beat anti-spin, or as I prefer to think of it, a two-petal flower. This is a three-petal flower. They operate best on slightly different sized circles. Cat eye has to operate in unit circle. If you go any further, it becomes essentially a moving point isolation. Whereas with triquetra, you just have to move it so impossibly fast in order to get it down to unit circle size that I don't feel like making the effort right now. So, are these two different driving styles, or are they like the full arm extension and the unit circle extension, just the same idea on different scales? Interesting problem. There is also the issue of caps, which Insignia is classified as a driving style in his breakdown, but I'm not sold that this is a driving style. For one thing, it seems to be composed of two other things that we would consider driving styles, namely anti-spin and extension. But nonetheless, you still can do things like match it up to, say, a pendulum, or in isolation, in ways that clearly have aesthetic similarities with other hybrids that we've played with, right? So, if a cap is not a driving style, but it can create a hybrid, and a hybrid is any combination of two driving styles, we've got ourselves a bit of a logical conundrum here. After thinking about this at great length, I noticed a pattern emerging in the hybrids I was playing with. That, granted, I haven't worked it all the way through all of the hybrids that I know, but every single hybrid I've tested it with so far works. I think Alien John actually was kind of getting at this when he played around with Alien Code, and I'll take you through piece by piece here. So we know that the four combinations of timing and direction are same direction, same time, which you'll notice looks exactly like an extension, because extension is the poi in the hand going same time, same direction versus each other, right? That is, they are at the same point around their arc at the same time. There's also split time, same direction, which happens when you're doing an isolation. That is, in both of these combinations of timing and direction, the 2 points in question never ever come in contact with each other when they're going around the circle. In this case, the poi head in the hand. In this case, both poi heads in both hands. Likewise, if we think about opposite same time, this is the same thing as a cat eye if you think about the poi head versus the hand. Because the poi head and the hand reach the top and bottom of their arc at the same time, but are on opposite sides in the middle, just like a butterfly. Likewise, if we want to play with split time opposites, this yields a horizontal cat eye, wherein hand and poi are at the same point in their ellipse on the sides, rather than on the top and bottom. Interesting. So, if I were to say do this hybrid right here, you'll notice that my hands are going split time same direction, while the poi are going same time same direction. That is, the poi are at the same point along their arc at all times, and my hands are never at the same point along the arc. Likewise, if we go to cat eye versus isolation antihybrid, the poi are going same time opposites, where the hands are going split time same direction. And, just to throw a monkey wrench in it, let's try playing around with a bigger hybrid, one that's not in the unit circle, the Mercedes triquetra. Here, you'll notice that my hands are going around same time, same direction. And because it's in triplicate time, the idea of same time versus split time for the hand doing the anti-spin no longer applies, because we can have the hand and poi at the same point of the arc up, we can have it to the left side, we can have it to the right side, and we can have it down. But we can never have any of those same two in the same figure. Nonetheless, as hands are moving around, same time, same direction, the poi heads are going opposites versus each other. Likewise, if we try the same hybrid, except this time the hands are going opposite, you'll notice that the hands are going opposite at the same time, but the poi heads are going same direction, regardless of what timing they are versus each other. Interesting. Likewise, if we consider a cap and add a pendulum to it, there's a point at which the poi heads are going same direction split time versus each other, and a point at which they're going, opposites split time versus each other, because they meet together in the middle on the way up, and they're split time same direction on the way down. Nonetheless, the hands are always going same time same direction. So what this is adding up to me is, I think what a hybrid actually is not a combination of two driving styles, but any combination of movements in which the poi and the hands are not in the same combination of timing and direction. I know that's a bit more universal a definition, and God only knows there are probably holes in it, so I'm throwing this out there to the wider poi community. Pick it apart. Show me what works, what doesn't. It might be that by the time people start adding feedback on this, I will very embarrassingly have discovered a scenario in which this doesn't work. But until then, yeah, let's put this theory through the rigors. Let's see what happens to it. Worst case scenario, I have just muddled the waters further. Best case scenario, hey, this might actually help people. So, thank you guys for watching this time around. I know this was very theory heavy. And yeah, I will hopefully see you guys very soon. Peace out.